Story 6, Bait Pup who lost half her face to brutal dogfights learns to love again in new home. A mutt used as bait by dogfighters was left so injured that she lost half of her face, including an eyeball. Hattie now has learned to love again after finding companionship with her new owner Aaron Williams. Hattie was rescued by a good Samaritan in the area who took her to Mutt Scouts in South Carolina, where donations funded high vet bills from her injuries. Hattie was used as a bait dog, which is what dogfighters use to train their fighting dogs by encouraging them to attack the bait dog. They are subjected to repeated abuse and attacks as the fighting dogs learn to be aggressive toward them. All dogs in this situation are victims, Williams said. She had injuries all over, but the worst of it was on her face. The skin around her eyes and mouth had been injured so badly that it was barely attached anymore and falling off. Much of it had to be removed, as did her right eye. They had to remove most of the skin and one eye to save her life. It was essentially rotting off already. I've seen before photos, and it's really gruesome. The injuries came from the forced attacks from other dogs. Initially, Williams was looking for a dog similar to her previous pet, Ellie, but kept seeing Hattie's image on the adoption page. Unable to stop thinking about her, she decided to apply to adopt her anyway. Williams needed to give extra care to Hattie, who was still recovering, adding, "Much of the serious medical care happened before I adopted her. When I got her, her face was still healing. So my job was to make sure the area was kept medicated as it healed into scar tissue and help her understand that she would be safe and loved for the rest of her life." Now, Hattie has learned to love again and is no longer fearful of other dogs. She loves other dogs. It's so heartwarming to see, considering how fearful she was when I adopted her. We have a park near our apartment and we go almost daily. I really love seeing her run around and play with the other dogs. It shows how much of a normal, happy, spoiled pet she is now, said Williams. Story 7, Huge 130-pound mastiff falling in love with a tiny orphaned kitten. In a mix of adoption and foster story, a teeny kitten became surprisingly best friends with a 130-pound mastiff in her foster home. Tiny kitten Sonic came to Mastiff Norm's home in October as a temporary foster kitten, and the pair unexpectedly bonded. We knew that our Mastiff, Norm, is very gentle with children and puppies, but he had never met a kitten that young before. We introduced them and watched them closely to make sure the kitten was safe. The kitten sensed Norm's body heat and immediately curled up next to him. Norm sniffed him, then rested his head gently over the kitten to keep him warm. He was very careful not to step on the kitten, and he instantly started acting like a mother, owner Julia said. After going viral for videos of the adorable friendship, Julia was met with pleas to adopt Sonic to solidify the union, but it just wasn't possible. Instead, Julia's friend has decided to take Sonic in permanently, in her home with a Norm doppelganger for the kitten to love just as much. I'm trying to spread the message that yes, I ended up adopting Norm, but that was because I had the time and room in my house to give him the best life possible. We currently have 1 dog and 2 cats, and adding a 3rd cat would put stress on our adult cats. You can't keep every foster animal and continue to foster, said Julia. Story 8, Woman mounts rescue mission in a plane saving 27 puppies from kill shelter. Cassandra Diana Marie helped fly 27 puppies from Enterprise, Alabama to Orlando, Florida in a mission to save their lives. In a video shared to her TikTok, Marie showed the cabin filled with dogs, while puppies even slept on her knees. Dozens of dogs were being saved from an overcrowded high-kill shelter in Alabama, but now, Marie claimed, all have been adopted while one is even training as a police dog. We went by weight. Every pound counts. We even left our waters, she said. They run around a bit before boarding so they take a little nap. The flight was short. She claimed the pups were cute and smelly, admitting her leggings were soaked in pee. Story 9, Police save K9 from euthanasia after previous force didn't want him. The City of Spring Hill Police Department in Kansas saved a K9 from euthanasia in November, after it was discovered he would need kidney surgery. Belgian Malinois Shepherd mix Loki was originally purchased by the Olathe Police Department from a kennel in Pennsylvania, with the intent of serving as their newest police force dog. After a scan, however, Loki was discovered to have an underdeveloped kidney in need of removal in the near future. The kennel offered a replacement dog to Olathe police free of charge but informed them that Loki would be euthanized on his return. That's where the Spring Hill Police Department came into it. The department adopted Loki to replace its current K9, Nico, who is set to retire. Despite being set to have his kidney removed, Loki is still healthy enough to work, said vets, and will be able to continue even after he has healed from the surgery. Story 10, A Christmas Miracle Adoption. Just 2 days before Christmas, a dog who has previously suffered from a severe eye infection and a ton of hair loss was heartwarmingly adopted. The SPCA Cincinnati shared the story on Facebook, explaining that Strike had a resilient spirit, as his tail never stopped wagging and his eyes never dimmed. "We will miss you, Strike, but we wish you the very best. Keep shining on and defying all the odds," they added.